of India, all the eminent speakers on the dais, and all of the very important guests who are here in this room. Very good morning to you. You've heard our champions. You've heard the Exim Bank and their financial structure, and you've heard Mr. Deepak talk about the new energy and excitement that is moving through the telecommunications space in India, the ICT space. And I think this is a wonderful time for the country, and I think also for you to be here. For me, this is an occasion that brings back memories. This is perhaps the fourth reverse bias ceremony that I have been to. And what has been great to see is the way this event has grown in terms of its focus, in terms of its participation, and in terms of the kind of serious business which is beginning to happen. So I would like to add my words of welcome to all of you who are here. I hope that there is very good business and that there are relationships built during the course of this event that will lead us to far greater productivity and far greater action. Much of what is the current status of the telecom sector has been talked about. What I'd really like to say, and what has changed perhaps, is that the government has recognized that there is a need for focus and a need to concentrate on making in India. The Make in India initiative of the current government really incentivizes, really focuses manufacturers across the spectrum to come to India, to make in India, make for India, and make for the world. I think this kind of focus and this kind of enablement which this demands, because the moment you say make in India, the average businessman will stand up and say, but these are my problems, how do I do it? And that really has focused the country to look at the business environment, to make changes in making it far easier to work in India and to produce in India. And I am sure that the Indian companies who are present here this morning will bear witness that things are changing, maybe not at the speed at which they want them to change. The government never moves with those speeds, but nevertheless, there is an energy, there is a purpose, and there is a clear-cut focus on making it far easier for companies to work in India, to get financing, and to be able to service this very large market as also the world and all of you. The other large focus program, and that's really what's triggering a lot of the excitement in the ICT space, and very especially in telecom, is the Digital India program. Digital India is hugely ambitious. It looks at broadband, robust broadband available to every single citizen. It looks at entitlements to a huge gamut of services to every citizen, even in the remotest part of the world. And all this needs a lot of push and energy behind telecom equipment manufacturing, because that's where the backbone lies. The National Optical Fiber Network, in fact, has triggered a whole lot of, if I may say, innovation, ideas in how it is to be done. But the trigger that it is providing, and I think this is significant, is that to the remotest parts of this country, where the private sector cannot go because it is not commercially viable, we are going to look at innovative solutions, we are going to look at low-cost solutions, we are going to look at the ways in which scattered smaller populations in remoter areas, whether they are mountains or deserts or tribal areas, reached with similar kind of services which citizens in urban areas enjoy. Why I am talking about this is because this is a situation in many of your countries. There are segments which are underserved, unserved, and the government must invest to make this happen. And for governments, the price points at which you invest, the quality and robustness of what you invest in is critical. So to that extent, I believe that the experience of India, the innovation in India is something that is relevant to your geography as much as it is to ours. Mr. Deepak has talked about the fact that while we are focusing manufacturing, we are putting equal amount of energy into research and development, in supporting the work on standards and standard setting, so that the products that come out of India not only meet the highest standards, but that we are at the forefront in working with the world to even make and develop those standards. And they're based on products that are being developed in India. This is important for all of us because the universality of what is developed in India to be used across the world is something that is of interest to you as you look at the options for buying for your country. I will not repeat much of what has been said, but I would like to react to two of the observations which were made by one of the speakers. In terms of our engagement with the world, let me say this, that we know that many parts of the world are open to business, as is India, and we don't wish to take any geography. That is certainly not our intention. What we want is robust and strong partnerships. We wish to work with you, we wish to sell to you, we wish to trade with you. And I think those are the best kind of arrangements. I don't think that we are comparable to any other country, nor do we compete to be the same as anyone else. Our objective really is to be able to serve as the markets across the world, particularly markets which are similar to ours, but also markets which are at the highest end of the spectrum. Indian companies supply perhaps to the poorest countries in the world and also to the richest countries in the world. And that's the depth of our sectors in manufacturing, in ICT, across the world. So I think that this itself is our objective. We'd like to do business. We will certainly engage in trade agreements, but with or without such trade agreements. India is certainly interested in doing business, working with you, and the government will support through technology initiatives, through enabling environments, as well as through financial support for exporting across the world. And this is something that I'd like to assure you, that the commitment of the government to promote quality products and to support exports to your part of the world are completely strong and committed. You have here some of our strongest companies. You have also some of the organizations involved and engaged in research with whom you can have a discussion on what the new emerging directions are. And I hope that as a consequence, the interactions in Delhi will be extremely rich, and that apart from the sightseeing, some of you will find time to visit the companies with whom you are doing business as well as the other companies, so that you can see for yourself what is the potential and the quality of what we do here. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.